Hey friends, welcome back to Crafter Support. I'm Andrea, and today we're going to be working with the We Are Memory Keepers gift bag punch board. So if you're not familiar with We Are Memory Keepers, they have a ton of different punch boards. They came out a long time ago, most of them, and they are just a tried and true, easy way to make really cute little gift bags. So this is one that I created. This is the medium size bag. You can make them up to 12 inches tall, but the width is only going to be so wide, right? So the medium size bag is going to be about 3 1/4 inches, a little under 3 1/4, so like 3 1/8 inches wide. And the height for this one, you can choose, like I said, and I chose, I believe, 5 inches high. So I had to cut it at, I think it was 6 inches. So we're going to get into all that. I'm going to walk you through the punch board and we're going to make this adorable little gift bag. So I'll show you the other sizes quick. I have a large one. So the large width is going to be, when it's completed, is around 3 3/4. So it's about 3 3/4 inches wide once it's complete. Again, you can go up to 12 inches high. And then this is the small bag, and I thought this one was super cute for like little candies or something like that. And it is about 2 3/4 inches wide when it's completed. So these are our sizes. Let me see if I can line them up for you. So again, like I said, some of them have different heights as well. So we'll lay them down so you can check it out this way. So there they are. And I just used some of the mesh that my daughter has in her sewing kit, and I used it as filler because for some reason I'm out of tissue paper, which is really weird for me because I have a whole gift station and I have no tissue paper in it, unless I moved it somewhere, and I don't know where I would have moved it to. But I thought these were super cute for fall. If you celebrate Halloween, you could do something like this as well. But I thought for fall, it was really, really cute. You could just give like maybe the first day of school to send in with a teacher, or to send in with your child for the teacher. Maybe to take to your daycare workers, just set them on like your boss's table, just something cute. It's nothing major, but you could put in like a little gift card, or for myself, I do a lot of crafting. I have a lot of crafty friends. I could put maybe some embellishments in a cute little container in here for a reusable container. Anything like that would fit in these little bags. So cute. All right, so we're gonna put these off to the side, and we're gonna start with the punch board of how I'm just gonna walk you through it. So if you're not familiar, your punch boards come with a stylus. So basically it's a scoring tool. You have all these lines you're gonna score, and it's a bone folder. So you can press the edges of your folds and get a really nice crisp edge. The punches, this particular punch has a pad on it that helps you press down. It's not hard. I'm going to make it look hard because I have a very weak wrist. Both of my wrists are very weak. I was a majorette. You'd think they'd be stronger from that, but they're not. So when I press down, I might need to use 2 hands because of the angle that I'm coming in at. But for you guys, you're probably going to be able to press, if you're perfectly fine, you're going to be able to press with 1 hand once the paper's in there. Now, this has a start line. So this is where you're going to start your paper, and your directions are right here on the board, which is awesome. So it says trim your paper width for a small 10 inches, medium 11, or large 12 inches. So that's what you're going to start with, is the width. So the whole way across, how big do you want to cut it? I think with this pattern, I need to do a large. Now hear me out on this. If you are cutting, you know what, I'll just make a medium sized bag so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So when you have directional paper, one, you need to make sure that you're cutting the paper directionally correctly, if that's a saying. You're going to want to make sure that you have the right amount of length and the right amount of height, which I'm sorry, they call it length. So they're calling this up and down the length, and this the width, which I agree with the width here, but I always call this the height because it's going to be how high your bag is. So your length and your width. Okay. Now if your directional paper is going one way, like this one was going with the words had to be up and down. When you cut your paper and when you punch your paper, you have to make sure your paper is going in the right direction. So let's just cut this. I'm going to make it at the 11 inches. Since we know we have a 12-inch sheet of paper, we do not want to cut this whole sheet of paper down at 11 inches. Okay, and what I mean by, in my opinion, this directional paper goes this way. Your design, this is the top of your design, this is the bottom of the design for me. Some people could flip it and be like, oh, it doesn't matter, the pumpkins are going all different ways. But in my mind, this is the top of the paper. So when I cut my 11 inches, I am not going to cut that length, that height first. What I'm going to do is trim off this bottom piece that we don't need. It just gives you the information about the paper. And then I could cut it like this and chop off 1 inch the whole way down. And that would give me my 12 or my 11 inches, right? But then what if you want to use the rest of the paper to make, say, a 12-inch bag, or maybe you want to use the rest of this paper for a scrapbook for the whole strip of 12 inches. You can't do that because you cut the whole 11 inches off. So what we're going to do is we're going to make the length, in my wording, the height of the bag first. That's what we're going to cut. So it says if you're cutting the paper length, you can cut it between 4 inches and 12 inches. So since we're doing an 11-inch bag, I want to cut it at, so I'm going to turn my paper on its side. I'm going to pull out my handy dandy arm. And I want this to be a 7-inch bag. I think 7 inches is a great height because you lose that inch whenever you start punching and scoring. So it's not actually going to be 7 inches high. So you have to take that into consideration as well. So when if you say you have something you want to put in the bag and it's 7 inches, you're going to want to bump this up to like 8.5 inches so that you get the full height of the bag that you're looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut that. And this piece you can save for any other 12-inch project that you want to make. And then I'm going to turn it on its side and I'm going to cut it at 11. So the only paper that we're going to have a little sliver of is right here. We're just going to cut this off, this 1 little inch off. And you could also use this for a project. Say you were making a card and you needed 1 little strip for it. You have that strip. So now we're good to go with the cutting and the trimming. So the next thing that we want to do, so here is the top of my paper. So remember, this is the top of the paper. You want to turn it all the way around so that the top of the paper is facing you. Okay, so that's going to be your directional. And then you're going to just go to your start line. And your start line is nice and yellow. It matches the punch. You just line it up. And the first thing you're going to do is punch. Okay. And I'm pretty sure that punched all the way through. I do like to check. Yes, it did. Then you're going to take your scoring stylus and you're going to score all the way over. And then you're going to score at the medium line. So this is where the medium line is right here. You're going to score down. And then you're going to move it over to that score line. Okay, so you're going to line everything up. There's also a little tick mark right here that lines directionally up with that score line. So you're going to put it there and you're going to punch. Okay, now we need to make the fold of the bag. Okay, so we need to make this part of the bag right here because we just made the front. Now we're going to make this piece here. So I'm going to score here and here, the whole way across, and then down. Okay, we already punched this one. So now we're going to move it all the way over to the last line that you scored. Okay, and it's going to be right here. This is called your side line. This is the side of the bag. You're going to score down that. And I'm just going to leave my finger on it and pull it down to the start line so you can see where that's at. So that's going to be actually, you're going to have your middle line and then your farthest line. Okay, then you're going to score across again and you're going to score down your medium line like this and you're going to punch. And you can do it in any order that you want to do it. I usually score first. I don't know why. That's just what I do. Little paper pieces everywhere. Okay, so here's my score line that I just made for the medium. I'm going to pull that over to my start line. Line it up with a tick mark. I'm going to press this time. So you can see you can do it at any point. And then again, we're going to do our scoring this way. And we're going to score where it says side. Then we're going to come to that furthest score line. We're going to pull it all the way over to our start line. And we're going to press. Okay. And then we're done punching that portion of it. Now it shows you to trim off these edges right here. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to trim here. And we're going to trim here. And that just kind of takes out the bulk. Actually, I need to trim this one a little bit better. Up to that line. There we go. It just takes out some of the bulk when you're folding. Now, the next thing we can do, which is optional, but I think they turned out really cute whenever I put the handle onto this bag. I really like that. I think it just kind of stepped it up a bit from not having a handle. So we're going to put a handle on this one too. And it comes right here on the back of your punch board, a lineup for you to punch. So what you're going to do is you're going to stick the edge of this paper. So this is the front or the back of your bag, which the part that's going to connect it all. And so you're going to come with this furthest edge that looks like this. You're going to line it up with this line right here, and you're going to punch. Okay. Then you're going to move over to this line. And let me make sure of that. Yes. Then we're going to come to here and we're going to punch. Then we're going to come to this line right here. So it's your next score line and we're going to punch. So everywhere where there's like a divot that comes up, that's where you're going to punch. Okay. That might make it easier to explain. And then we're going to punch. And then we're going to line this piece up. This gets a little wiggly, so make sure you're keeping it straight. And then we're going to punch. And so you have all of your holes lined up exactly where you need them to put your ribbon through. Okay, so now we're going to go in and do all of our folds. So we're going to use the bone folder or the stylus, whatever you want to call it, that came with the set. And we're going to fold this first little tab. Then we're going to skip the next score line, which is our Y. It makes like a letter Y. We're going to skip that one and we're going to score the next one. Then we're going to score the next one. We're going to skip the Y and we're going to score the next one over. Okay, and the reason we're doing that is because we're going to score these two pieces right here the opposite way. So we're just going to fold them with our fingers and we're going to press them down to the Y. So down to this little, the end of the Y shape here, because that's going to be the pucker of your bag, right? So we're just going to score it down to there. And then the rest of that little V piece that's left, that's going to fix itself once you put the bag together. Okay, so now I just kind of press it out a little bit and I'm going to put some adhesive right here. So I'm using this tear and tape. I don't know where it's from. I buy a lot of this at the Dollar Tree and it works amazing. So I'm going to suggest whatever tear and tape you have. You can use a tape runner on this if that's what you have. I just kind of feel like the tear and tape is a little less expensive to use when making projects like this, and it works really well. So I do sometimes burnish my tear and tape so that I can just get a good lift on the carrier sheet and not the sticky. All right, so we're going to pull that off, and then we're just going to simply bring this over, the edge over, and we're going to fold it by lining up the edge and pressing down. Okay, you can use your bone folder if you choose to, And now we're gonna do the bottom of the bag. So I simply just did this. I folded, I should have told you guys this. When I do the bottoms, I don't fold it. I don't usually use my bone folder to fold those because I want it to be more sturdy than more, what's the word? Like as crisp. I feel like whenever I don't use the bone folder on the bottoms, they stay together better. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm wrong, but that's just what I found. So what I'm gonna do is use my tear and tape, and I'm only gonna put one piece of tape across this piece here and pull it up. I guess I was really crooked with that piece. You can make yours more exact and straight across. All right, but once you put this tear and tape on, like you're done. Like it's not coming off. But that's fine because it'll still hold in place. I'm just gonna stick my hand down in there and press. And now check out your cute little box. Now we're gonna put the, I think I'm gonna use the orange ribbon through this, or do I want to do the brown? I'll do the brown because I did orange on the other one. So this is really easy to thread it through. I just push it together so you have all the holes lined up, which is great. It's hard to do that with just a regular punch. I'm glad that they included the punch on the back of here. And then we're gonna fold it together again. We're gonna push our little, guys, this is actually harder to do on camera. It shouldn't be this hard, but it's harder for me because it's on camera and I don't get super close to the actual project that I'm making. But you could do it like this. Let me get it through. It's really not that hard, I promise. I'm making this way harder. And y'all should take into consideration I'm like blind. Okay, here we go. So now we have it through all of our little pieces. I'm gonna make it longer, obviously, than it needs to be, but I just wanna share with you how I figure out how much ribbon to cut and tie. So once we get to this point, I look at it and think, okay, that's a pretty decent length. And what I'm gonna do is just make a tie right here. And don't worry, we're gonna hide this once the bag is completed. So don't worry about the knot being seen because you pretty much can't see it once it's completely done. Okay, so now I'm just going to tie this little knot, keep my finger there, make sure it's tight, and then we're gonna trim it off. So this piece here, this piece here, just make sure you don't trim the knot itself. Then we're just gonna pull the little knot through and have it inside the bag where you can't really see it, right? And then we're gonna lift. Just lift the handles and look how cute that is. All right, so I don't have any more tissue or stuff cut, so I'm just gonna tuck this one in, but look how cute that is. You could do like a little pen set in here. You probably have to take it out of the packaging, but you could do cute little pens in here. You could do little snacks or treats in here. I just think it is so, so cute. And I love how they turned out. So again, this was a medium-sized bag at 7 inches that I cut it. And let's see the heights now. I'm pretty sure it's just an inch, but let me double check. It is, actually you lose a little bit more than an inch. So use like 1.25 inches whenever you're cutting. So take that into consideration because now this is about 5 3/4 of an inch high. So just take that into consideration when you're designing your bag, like how tall you need it to be for the whatever you're putting inside of it. But oh my goodness, they're so cute. I love how it turned out. You could put a little tag on here, which I should have done that before I tied it. You could have slid a tag on before you actually tied the knot on here, and it would have had a cute tag hanging off of it. I'm sure there's ways to like add a little tag or something. You could decorate the front. So with the small one, I just put a sticker on it. I thought that was cute. And I put a little clip at the top because I didn't put handles on it. I just wanted to see what it would look like if I just made something like this. Even with this one, you could just clip the tag on it. I think that would look adorable, especially if you had those, I think I have them somewhere, those little wooden like clothespins. Those are super cute. You could use, I just had these from a long time ago with Stampin' Up. So I just use those because I need to start using this stuff in my craft room. But I think they turned out so adorable, guys. I am in love with these little cute bags. You guys are gonna have to let me know if you've made any or if you tried them out. There are ways with your Cricut you can make bags too, but this was just a fun way, and I think an easy way, especially if you don't have a Cricut, to make super cute gift bags with a 12 by 12 sheet of paper, cutting down the height, or they call it the length, to the size that you need. All right, guys, I hope this video was helpful. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, I have a membership you can join. I have a Facebook group you can join, and I would love to have you on all of my social media sites and to be part of my membership. It is $7.99 a month. You also get members only videos, member first videos, members lives, and I just want to have so much fun with you guys creating and crafting. We have like our own little crafty club online, and I think that's so fun. So all right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.